Welcome to the ISO 27001 certification process course overview. In the next few minutes, we'll walk through every step of the certification journey from selecting a certification body through the Stage 1 documentation review, Stage 2 certification audit, handling nonconformities, surveillance audits, and recertification. Understanding this process removes the mystery and helps you prepare effectively. Let's get started. Let's start with how to select a certification body and what happens during the Stage 1 audit. The ISO 27001 certification process follows a structured sequence. Let's walk through each phase. Start by selecting an accredited certification body. Accreditation means the CB has been verified by a national accreditation body like UKS, ANAB, or DACS. Compare pricing, industry experience, auditor availability, and reputation. Agree on the certification scope, audit timeline, and team composition. Some CBs offer pre-assessment visits that identify gaps before the formal audit. Stage 1 is primarily a documentation review. The auditor examines your ISMS scope, information security policy, risk assessment methodology and results, statement of applicability, and key procedures. They verify that your management system is designed correctly and that you are ready for Stage 2. Stage 1 can be conducted remotely for many organizations. The auditor produces a report listing any areas that must be addressed before Stage 2. Stage 2 is the main certification audit, typically conducted on-site over 2 to 5 days, depending on your organization's size and scope. Auditors verify that your ISMS is implemented effectively by reviewing evidence, interviewing staff at all levels, observing processes, and testing controls. They assess whether your risk treatment plan is being executed, whether incidents are managed properly, and whether management review and internal audit are functioning. After Stage 2, the certification body reviews the audit findings. If there are major nonconformities, you must address them and provide evidence of corrective action before a certificate is issued. Minor nonconformities require a corrective action plan with a defined timeline. Once the CB is satisfied, they issue the ISO 27001 certificate, valid for 3 years subject to successful surveillance audits. Understanding what auditors look for at each stage helps you prepare the right evidence. At Stage 1, auditors focus on whether your management system is properly designed. They want to see a clearly defined scope, a sound risk assessment methodology, a complete statement of applicability with justifications, your policy framework, and evidence that at least one internal audit and management review have been conducted. Stage 1 findings must be resolved before Stage 2. At Stage 2, auditors verify that everything documented in Stage 1 is actually working. They interview staff to assess awareness, review access logs and monitoring records, examine incident management evidence, check training records, and verify that management review outputs are driving improvements. The focus is on effectiveness, not just existence. Surveillance audits occur annually between certification and recertification. They verify continued conformity by sampling specific clauses and controls, confirming that previous corrective actions have been completed, reviewing improvements, and checking that the ISMS remains current. Surveillance audits are shorter than certification audits, but can still result in nonconformities. Recertification occurs every 3 years and is essentially a full reassessment. Auditors expect to see maturity improvement over the 3-year cycle, better metrics, refined processes, closed nonconformities, and evidence of continual improvement. A recertification audit that finds the ISMS unchanged from the initial certification raises serious concerns. Now let's cover how to handle audit findings effectively, because almost every audit produces some findings. Understanding the difference between major and minor nonconformities is essential for managing the audit outcome. A major nonconformity means a requirement is entirely absent or fundamentally failing. For example, no risk assessment has been conducted or management review has never occurred. Major nonconformities block certification until corrective action is implemented and verified by the auditor. You typically have 90 days to resolve them. Multiple major nonconformities may require a complete re-audit. A minor nonconformity means a requirement is partially met but has gaps. For example, your access review policy says monthly, but evidence shows reviews happening quarterly. Minor nonconformities do not block certification but require a corrective action plan with a defined timeline. They must be resolved and verified at the next surveillance audit. Accumulating unresolved minor nonconformities across audits becomes a major concern. Effective corrective action requires a structured approach that addresses root causes, not just symptoms. First, contain the immediate issue. If the nonconformity represents an active risk, take immediate action to limit its impact. This might mean restricting access, applying a temporary manual control, or escalating to management. Document what you did and when. Investigate the root cause rather than addressing the surface symptom. If access reviews were missed, ask why. Was it unclear who was responsible? Was there no calendar reminder? Was the process too cumbersome? Use structured techniques like the 5 whys analysis. Auditors want to see that you understand why the failure occurred, not just that you fixed it. Implement a permanent correction that addresses the root cause. If the root cause was unclear responsibility, update the RACIME matrix and communicate assignments. If the process was too cumbersome, simplify it. Update documented procedures to reflect the change and train affected personnel. Verify that the corrective action actually works by monitoring the process over a reasonable period. Collect evidence of sustained improvement, not just one instance of compliance, but consistent performance. Report the closure with supporting evidence to your certification body. Effective corrective action demonstrates ISMS maturity. Let's close with the most important lessons about the certification process. First, choose your certification body carefully. Accreditation is mandatory, but beyond that, look for industry experience, auditor quality, and reputation. The cheapest CB may lack depth, while an experienced auditor can provide valuable insights that improve your ISMS beyond just meeting requirements. Second, treat Stage 1 as your safety net. Address every finding from the Stage 1 report before Stage 2. Organizations that dismiss Stage 1 findings as minor and proceed to Stage 2 unprepared are the ones that receive major nonconformities. Third, receiving nonconformities is normal and expected. The certification body evaluates not just your ISMS, but how you handle findings. A well-executed corrective action process demonstrates maturity and commitment to improvement. And fourth, plan for the full 3-year certification cycle from the beginning. Surveillance audits in years 1 and 2 require continued evidence of operation and improvement. Organizations that celebrate certification and then let the ISMS deteriorate face difficult conversations at surveillance audits. That wraps up our overview of the ISO 27001 certification process. In the full Udemy course, you'll get detailed walkthroughs of every certification stage, audit preparation checklists and evidence organization guides, corrective action templates and root cause analysis techniques, and real-world examples of successful certification journeys. Click the link below or scan the QR code to enroll and prepare for your certification with confidence. Thank you for watching. If you found this overview helpful, subscribe to the channel for more content, and check the description for the link to the full course. See you in the next video.